Hello, this is Nick Andre welcoming you to this screencast on taking a Cisco assessment. In order to take our weekly assessment, students must first log on to their Cisco Academy Connection account. I took the necessary steps of loading the NetAcad site into my favorite browser. From here, I'll click on the Login button found in the Academic section. Then I'll provide Cisco with my Academy Connection credentials and click Login. After the page loads, I will click on the course Fall 2012 CSNT 1200. From there, I'll come down to the section that says Assessments and Grades and click Take Assessment. A new window will appear, and in there will be available exams I can take. Currently, I have the Practice Final exam available for me. I'll click on English, and then I'll read the details about this exam. The starting period for this exam is 9:51, and I'll have until 11:51 to complete it. Once I start the exam, I have an hour to finish it. It tells me that I can change the number of questions that I would like to appear per page. I like doing the standard 5 questions per page. Once I'm ready, I'll click Next. They're letting me know that I'm about to take the exam, and this is my last opportunity to close out before it begins. Once it begins, there's no going back and you can't stop the clock. So I'm going to come down here and click Begin Assessment. The time remaining will always be on top of the exam. It'll count down. In this case, I had an hour to finish this exam. As I go through each one of the questions, I will pick a choice. These are single multiple choice questions because all that appears are option buttons to click. Eventually, like in question 3, I will meet a multiple choice question. After reading the question, they're letting me know that you have to pick 2. Be careful of this. If you pick more than 2, you'll get part of the question wrong. If you pick less than 2, you'll still get part of the question wrong. Cisco does reward partial credit, but still, pay attention to the question. Read everything over and over. You have an hour for the exam. Take your time and read through each question. So I'm just going to go down through this, picking choices. Once I reach the 5th question, you'll see down the bottom I have a navigation area where I can go to the next page. Students ask, is it possible to go back? Absolutely. As you can see, the options are indicating one choice. I'm only guessing at all these questions. The check boxes indicate multiple choices. Inside parentheses at the question, they'll tell you how many you must pick. So I'll pick these 3 and continue taking the assessment. Now, if you want to go back to a previous page because you found a question that had the answer to another question, no problem. Click Previous, and you can see that the answers that you have chosen before are still in contact, and you can change them, and you can resume back to where you left off. You see page 2 still has my choices, and now I'm moving on. There's a 50 question quiz. Not all your weekly quizzes are going to be 50 questions. This particular one was a practice final exam, so it was 50 questions. Done. I'm going to click on Next, and then it's going to say you are about to submit this. You have answered this in 56 minutes or still remaining, so I will click Grade Exam. Once I click that, that's it. It's submitted. They're going to tell me how much I've earned and what would the weighted score be if I were to count the weights that Cisco uses for their finals. So now I'm done. I'm just going to close out by clicking Close Window. To see how well you performed, you can come back down to the section that had Assessments and Grades and click on Gradebook. You can see the current assessments that you have not taken and the ones that you have taken. As you can see in this demonstration, I just got them finishing the practice final exam. You'll notice the practice final exam is a hyperlink, as well as my test score. Let's see what happens when I click on my test score. It'll tell me what I've seen before when I hit the submit button. What happens if I'd like to see my per question results? So let me come back up, click close window. But this time I'm going to click on the practice final exam hyperlink. And now it's going to lay it out with the questions being up top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, with how much they were worth and how much I earned. You notice that my questions are not hyperlinks, they're just plain text. It's because I chose not to display the results for this exam after the student finishes taking it. Once everybody has taken the exam, I will unlock the results so that you can come and click on the test question and see exactly what question it was, what you've answered, and what the correct answer is. In this screencast, I went over how to access a Cisco assessment. I demonstrated how a student can take this assessment and how to review the results. I'll see you in the next screencast.